Welcome to another video. Obviously a different setting than the gym, but today I really wanted to talk to you more about our one-on-one offerings and our other offerings that we have through the Movement Collective. We have three different tiers of offerings. We have our lowest ticket tier, it's Prehab Pro, it's $20 a month. It is a full 5-day-a-week accessory style program. Workouts and the mobility days take 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how quickly you move through the exercises. It's full body for the most part, 2 days of upper, 2 days of lower, and 1 day of a full body. We have clients that pick and choose. We have clients that do everything. It's really just whatever personal preference is. It's meant to be the things that you're not doing in your training that you should be. It's obviously our lowest ticket item, so people that are not really quite willing to commit to the bulletproof programs, which I'm going to talk about next, or the one-on-one programs, which I'll also talk about. That's a great sort of introduction to what we offer at the Movement Collective. The bulletproof programs, we currently have bulletproof your shoulders, bulletproof your back, and bulletproof your hips. We're adding one more program in the next few months. I'll talk a little bit more about that on my Instagram in the next few weeks. But those programs are going to be specific to obviously those body parts, and then within each test is going to be a self-assessment to help you determine which path that you need to take. So for example, for the hips, we've got hip external, internal rotation, and we have flexion and extension. Depending on the test and the results of those tests will determine what track you should follow. So while it is a generic template, it then has tests to help push you down the right track for whatever you need. That's our medium ticket item. And then our highest ticket item is going to be the one-on-one coaching. That's going to be working with me directly. And that's really what this whole video is about. Now, for the one-on-one coaching, if you check out our website under one-on-one coaching, you can read all of the things that I'm about to say. It's obviously going to be the highest ticket item that we offer. And through the one-on-one coaching, what's going to happen is after you sign up, you're going to have an initial consultation. That's going to be with me directly. It's going to be via Zoom, Skype. Does anyone use Skype actually? Either way, Zoom, Google Meet, FaceTime, whatever I can do to get a hold of you. That conversation is usually going to take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not picky about time. I want to get down to whatever your problem is. And if that takes me an hour, it takes me an hour. If it takes me 30 minutes, it takes me 30 minutes. From there, I get to learn about any injuries that you have or an injury you're working through, what you've done for rehab so far. And that's a big one, because a lot of people have done a lot of things for their rehab, and that's usually when they feel frustrated and they reach out to me because it's an online format, and people get a little finicky. They're like, well, you can't put your hands on me, and if I couldn't help you through this format, I wouldn't offer it. I'll learn all about you, I'll learn about your training, and then the things that you want to get back to, because ultimately that's the most important thing. Then what I'll do after that initial assessment is I'll start building out your testing days. Your testing days, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three testing days of movements that I want to see that's really going to dive more specifically into your problem area. I don't have testing templates. I have my favorite movements that I use, but I don't use them for absolutely every single person because it varies depending on what you need. So after those testing days, what I do is what I call movement prep. This movement prep is going to be your warm-up. Now, how long this movement prep is going to be dictated by what we find out in our call together initially. If you're like, man, I get to the gym and I basically have 5 minutes to warm up before class, your warm-up's gonna be about 5 minutes. If you're like, yeah, I'd spend about 30 minutes warming up, I'm probably going to then steal that time slot and replace it with a lot of my movements, and we're gonna see what works and what clicks with you. People ask, is it 3 times a week, 5 times, 6 times? It's however much you can dedicate towards it. So if you're like, look, I wanna do this, but I can only really dedicate 2 days a week to it, that's fine. If you're like, hey, I can do this and I'm going 6 days a week, let's get it. I'm cool with that too. But we have those movement prep days. Typically it's every day that you train. And I also have what are called accessory days. I start everyone out on 1 to 2 accessory days, again, depending on what you can commit to. And then I'll modify those movements based off of how much time that you can commit to as well. So with those 2 accessory days, it's gonna be a little bit more active than the movement prep type movements. Those are gonna be to open you up, loosen up a tight area, get an area moving, whatever the case may be. This is all happening that first week. So after those testing days, I then create the movement prep and the accessory days. What I always ask of all my clients is the more detail you can give me, the better. So if you go, hey, you know what, I'm doing that external rotation exercise and I feel it on the way back right here, you take a video, you point at it, or you tell me about it, it actually helps me a ton And if you're like, man, I just don't get anything out of this exercise, or hey, I love this exercise, I'm gonna kind of dive into that a little bit more and ask you more questions about it, because I'm curious to know what particularly about that movement was good or bad, and then I'm going to build on it. If you didn't know already, I've worked with some very high level athletes in the CrossFit space, in the NFL, and the MLB, and tennis, and rugby, and cricket. So several different sports across several different domains. The thing is, and especially the more of a high level athlete that you are, not that this doesn't apply to the everyday person, which makes up most of my one-on-one clients, you are doing an exercise and you're not feeling or seeing any benefit from the exercise. I have all of my clients, I say, tell me that. I need to know that, because if I learn that this movement is not doing you any good, it doesn't hurt my feelings to hear that. I hear that and go, okay, I thought that would have been a good movement for you, but it wasn't. So let's try this instead. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of other more traditional rehab approaches. A lot of traditional rehab approaches, it's like, hey, it's these exercises, that's it. If it doesn't work, keep doing them. It's you, it's not me. I'd like to take the blame. I think that there's always an opportunity to get you better as a client. And if you're doing something and you're not seeing benefit from it, I'm gonna change it up, point blank, end of story. So a great example is I work with an athlete named Dallin Pepper. He's one of the best CrossFit Games athletes in the world. With Dallin, as we've worked together in the past, he may be doing a movement and go, hey man, this thing was really effective for me for the first week, and now it's kind of losing that effectiveness and potency that this exercise had originally. I go, okay, awesome. Let's make it harder, or let's challenge it, or let's change the stimulus a little bit. And that really brings up another point. People often wonder how I deal with pain. I'm fine with pain as long as it's manageable and tolerable. The way that I work, the way that I operate is if we keep pain under a 4 out of 10, go for it. But if you are at over a 4 out of 10 during or after the movement or exercise, and you only know after, and sometimes a little bit of F around and find out, and I'm okay with that. If it's over a 4 out of 10 during and or after, we modify the movement. So for example, if it's a back squat at 135 pounds that brings on your knee pain, what about 95 pounds? If the answer is, 95 pounds is fine, guess what? You're squatting 95 pounds. Or an accessory movement you might see from me, let's just say it's a plate step down where you're really trying to emphasize knee over toe for a knee pain client. You're like, hey, that's really painful when I step off the plate. I'm gonna ask you, hey, what about if you don't step off the plate? And if you go, yeah, that's actually 2 out of 10, I'm gonna tell you to do that. Tendons need load to build tendon integrity and to build strength. A lot of traditional rehab plans, they're terrified to load a painful area because it is a little scary, it's frightening. This position puts you in pain. Why would I wanna get back in that position even though you want to get back to that position? There's a lot of research and evidence to show that the more you load a tendon in those positions in a tolerable range, the quicker they're gonna get better. And that's what my rehab is how can I find basically the position or activity you wanna get back into, how can I modify it just enough to make it effective for what you're trying to get back to. Rehab is just training in the presence of injury, and that's truthfully all it is. In essence, that's how my one-on-one coaching works. We have that initial consultation, takes about 30 minutes to an hour. After that, I start testing days. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 testing days, and then I start building the movement prep around that. The movement prep is gonna be varied based off of your testing results and our initial consultation. It's not the same for any client that I work with. I'm also gonna then, depending on your commitment, give you some accessory days. I start with 2. I have some clients I work all the way up to 4 accessory days with. It just depends on what you can commit to and what your goals are and what I think is necessary for you. My one-on-one coaching is month to month. You cancel whenever you want. I'm never gonna be someone that's very salesy up here. Maybe that's a fault of mine. Maybe I should be a little bit more salesy. It's just not my MO. I want you to get better. If I think you need 3 months of coaching, I'm gonna tell you that. If you want to go along with 3 months, amazing. If you don't, hey, look, this is just what I think you need. And if you get better in 1, good, I was wrong. And I'll remember that for the next client and make that appropriate adjustment if I think that's the right thing to do. This video was just basically me in front of the camera. I just wanted to tell you about my one-on-one offerings and my other offerings as well. If you're interested in any of those, please head to my website, shoot me a DM on Instagram, shoot me an email, contact me however you want. It's all out there how to get up with me. But but give me a buzz and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, whether it be like, am I a candidate for a one-on-one, or should I just get a bulletproof program? Or even if I don't think I can help you, I can refer you out to someone in your area. There's tons of options and opportunities. You just kind of have to go for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, we're dropping 2 YouTube videos a month and 2 blog posts a month. If you didn't check out the previous videos, please go do. I'm trying to build this channel up to give and provide more free help to people. And also with the blog post, I'm trying to have just another educational resource for you to read through to help better understand, one, my philosophy when it comes to rehab, pain management, and movement, and 2, to hopefully get you better. Please go check those things out. We'll see you guys, literally see you in 2 weeks and/or on Instagram. Until then, see you later. Remember, movement is healthcare.